everyone, thanks for joining me today for this surprise video on my blog. I have a really cute treat box for you, and I thought it would be easier to share in a video than trying to type it out on my blog. But before I do, I want to talk about the stamp set that we're using today. We are using the adorable Zany zebra stamp set. I've used this stamp set a ton. It's one of my favorites. It's a really affordable stamp set. It's only $19 in the annual catalog, and I love this stamp set so much that I have created a fun Stamp-A-Stack, and I will make sure to post a link to that. You're going to make 10 super cute cards. You're going to make 2 each of 5 designs. You're going to get about $12 in product in this class, and it's going to ship to you for free, and it's all $30. And you can add on this stamp set if you want. It's a special add-on. You can add it on. Just indicate that in the email to me when you RSVP, and I will make sure to send you a PayPal link. All right, let's get to the box today. I'm going to pull out my Simply Scored, and let me show you what we're making. We are making this super cute little box. Isn't that cute? I love this little zebra. He looks like a little 80s punk rock zebra. He's so cute. And to open the box, you're just going to take off that belly band, and then it just opens just like that. And inside are these super cute zebra cake rolls. Now, I found these when I went looking for regular zebra cakes, and they didn't have them, but they had these cute zebra cake rolls, and I thought, okay, I'll work with those. So I'm going to just slide that little belly band right back on, and we're going to get to making our box. You're going to need a piece of cardstock that is 7 by 7.5. Now, because it's almost a square, you need to really make sure that you are diligent about knowing which side is the 7-inch side and which side is the 7.5-inch side. So starting on the 7-inch side, we're going to score at 1 1/4 from each side. So I'm going to do 1 1/4 on this side, and I'm just going to flip it all the way back to the 7-inch side and do 1 1/4. Now, if you didn't want to flip it, you could just do 1 1/4 and 5 3/4, and that would be fine. All right, we're going to turn it to the 7.5-inch side, and we're going to score it at 1, at 3, at 4 1/4, and at 6 1/4. Okay, that is our box. Let me put my Simply Scored away, and then we will get to making the box. I need to grab a bone folder too. I realized I did not grab one of those. Let me grab a bone folder, and we're just going to burnish on all of these score lines. So, it is really important when you're making boxes to make sure that you're burnishing with a bone folder, because that is going to give you those really sharp, crisp corners and folds, and it's really going to make your box look super clean and slimlined. Okay, so let's pull out our little box. So this is going to be, you have a smaller side over here. There's a 1-inch side over here, and then on this side there's a 1 1/4-inch side. And this is the 7.5-inch side. This is the longer side. So on the 1-inch side, we are going to do some trimming. So grab your scissors, and we're going to cut out these corners. We don't need these corners, so I'm just going to cut straight up that score line and straight up this score line, and we're going to cut out these corners, and the same on this side as well. Straight up the score line and straight up this score line. All right, now these other 4 corners here, these are all 1 1/4-inch squares, and what we're going to do is cut straight up the score line, and then we're just going to notch them in, just like that. So straight up the score line, and then just take a little notch in. By notching in like that, we're going to make sure that if we scored it a little crooked, or maybe our score lines weren't exact, those notches will help that box go together easily. Okay, and we're going to flip it around and do the same with these 2 as well. So I'm just going to straight up that score line and then notch it in. Okay, and I'll just notch this in first and then go straight up that score line. Okay, one more. Let me go make that a little cleaner. There we go. One more. I'm going to notch in. Perfect. And it doesn't, the notches do not have to be perfect, because nobody is going to see those little notches. Okay, so we have a little bit more trimming to do, but this is where we are so far. Now, this is the these three over here are the sides that are going to be tucked into our box. But I need to trim these a little bit. They're a little long. So I'm going to pull out my paper trimmer. And I'm going to fold all three of these in because we're only going to trim this one. And I am going to set my paper. I'm going to line it flush up here. And I'm going to set this score line up at the 1/2 inch line. And then I'm just going to cut this off. You can do this. You can eyeball this with your scissors. But the paper cutter just makes it very quick and easy. So again, I'm just going to line that score line up with the 1/2 inch line and then just give that a cut. Now we don't need to do anything to the front. That's already nice and sized perfectly. But I'm going to take my detailed trio punch and we're just going to go around and round all of the corners. And you'll have to do some folding to get it in there. You'll have to fold in one side, you'll have to fold in another side. Just make sure you push it in nice and square so you get those nice rounded corners. So you have those three done. 3 more to do, 2 more to do. Just going around, and by folding these and rounding them, you're really going to get a nice clean looking box that's going to go together perfectly. All right, that is it. Get all those scraps out of the way. So this is what your box should look like. Once you're done with all the trimming and punching, this is your finished box. I'm gonna grab some of my Stamp and Seal Plus. I love this for putting together boxes. It's a super strong hold, and I'm going to put adhesive on all 4 of these sides. So, and I am only using just a little bit. This adhesive is so super strong, and they're only on those 4 corners that we notched in. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're just going to line up that score line with that straight edge that we cut. We're just gonna go around and do that to all 4 corners. And that will be our box. So it's a pretty simple box, and you could definitely make a ton of these. Super simple. These fold right in. Isn't that cute? Now there's one thing that I forgot to do there that we should have done before we put it together. I wanted to make a little finger notch hole. Now normally I would use my 1/2 inch circle punch for that, but we don't sell the 1/2 inch circle punch. So I thought, well, what else could I use? What else do I have? So I found my Perennial flower punch, and I'm just going to stick that in just a little bit, and thankfully it still works. I'm just going to kind of eyeball the middle. You definitely want to do this when the paper is nice and flat because it's a bigger punch, but it worked just fine. But that just leaves us a little bit of a finger notch to get in and open the box. Super cute, right? Oh, I love it. So let's put our little zebra cake inside there. This will be a super cute treat for anybody. You can give that to anybody. So let's put this one back together. I do want to spritz this one a little bit, so let me get out any scrap paper. Let me see if I can grab a piece of scrap paper real quick. I just want to protect my work surface a little bit. I'm going to use the Magenta Madness Stamp and Blend. I'm going to use the brush hand, and I'm just going to do a little bit of splatter on this. Not a lot, just a little bit. All right, we are ready to do our stamping. So I'm going to set this aside, and we do have a belly band to do, but we'll do that in a second. Let me put that aside. Let's get to our stamping. All right, I have my little zebra. This is the little zebra that looks like he's running or kicking up his heels. So we're gonna stamp him. We will have to fussy cut him, but he is easy to fussy cut. And if you don't want to fussy cut him, you could definitely just stamp him on a circle or a square or whatever you want. You definitely do not have to fussy cut him. Now I also have a stitched rectangle from the Stitch So Sweetly dies, and this is the 3rd largest rectangle in there, and we are going to do some stamping on here too. I want to bring in my Misty Moonlight, and we're going to do this little shadow image right on the bottom of that stitched tag here, because that's just going to give him some depth and look like he's jumping. Now I'm going to stamp the greeting, kick up your heels. I'm going to do that on the scrap piece of paper because we're going to end up cutting that out. Okay, let's do a little bit of coloring with our blends. All we're going to do with our zebra is just give him some fun hair. So I'm just going to open up both my markers and just kind of alternate. We're just going to go on the black parts of his little mane. I'm just using the dark Magenta Madness, And I am only coloring on his mane. We're not doing any coloring anywhere else. And then on the little white parts of his mane, I'm going in with the Misty Moonlight. And if they overlap a little bit, that's okay. They make a fun purple. All right, perfect. He just looks so cute. It looks like he's just got this fun mohawk. He's so cute. Okay, let's go ahead and trim him out. I'm just going to use my paper snips and go around him quickly. Now, when you're cutting, just make sure that you are using your dominant hand to hold the scissors and your non-dominant hand to turn the paper. You'll see that I'm not really turning my scissors. I'm turning my paper more than my scissors. And cut off excess as you go. The more excess you have, the harder it is to fussy cut. Now, this is the only tricky part, is going up around his back and his tail, but you can always just eliminate that part. You do not have to do this part. You can just cut around the outline of his body and not go around his full tail like this. But that is the only real tricky part. And let's see, I want to cut off the rest of this because that larger piece of paper will keep hitting your hand with your scissors, and that can get distracting when you're fussy cutting. Okay, I think we're almost there. One more little cut here and we're done. I do want to just kind of clean up his tail right here just a little bit. There we go. All right, now we don't want to get rid of this greeting. We're going to cut that out as well. And we're actually going to cut it up into 2 pieces. You could also use your paper trimmer to cut out this greeting. If you don't want to use your scissors, that's fine too. But I'm just going to cut real close to the greeting. And then I'm going to separate it at between up and your kick up your heels. Okay, let's get to the rest of our assembly. Let me grab some dimensionals. I forgot to grab those. I'm going to grab some dimensionals. We're going to stick our zebra right on here. Now his part of his head will hang off, so don't put any dimensionals at the very top of his head. I'm just going to stick some on there. And we want him to look like he's kicking up. So I'm just going to kind of face him down a little bit so his back heels are going up. And I'm going to just put a little bit of liquid glue on the back of these. Now these are going to hang off a little bit too. I'm going to do kick up. So I didn't put any glue behind kick. I really only put the glue behind up. And I'll do the same thing with heels. Just the glue behind heels. Kick up your heels. Oh, so cute. Now I have a Magenta Madness bow that I have already tied, and there's already a glue dot on the back, so let's just stick that on the bottom right here. So cute. All right, all we have to do is assemble. I do have some little enamel dots we're going to put on it, but we'll work on that in just a minute. All right, I'm going to start on the top of the box, and I'm not scoring my belly band. This is just DSP. This is a piece of magenta DSP that is not magenta, this is Misty Moonlight, that is 2 by 6. And the DSP you really don't need to score. I'm just going to kind of pinch it as I fold it around. Just pinching it ever so slightly, and it's not going to go all the way around, you'll see, but it'll be enough for us to glue it down. All right, now that it's all pinched, I'm just going to go through with my bone folder and just line up the sides, make sure they're nice and straight, and then give it a fold with my bone folder. And that will just make sure that our belly band is nice and straight. We're folding along all those lines that we pinched, but we're just straightening it all up. So this one, straightening, and then one more, just kind of push that over, straighten it up a little bit. There we go. Now before we wrap this around our belly band, I'm looking for my adhesive. I'm going to put some adhesive just on those outside pieces. Just flip it and do it this way. Just like that. Where it's going to wrap around the top. We're going to wrap it around just like this. And I'm actually going to, let's do it this way. I'm going to stick on this one just on the bottom there. And when we wrap it around, this one will just kind of close up and stick right on the top just like that. And there is our super sweet belly band. I'm just going to open that box a little bit more. The lid got kind of caved in. So our belly band will go, hello, work with me here. There we go. Just had a slight malfunction, but there we go. We got it. And our belly band will go on our box. Man, you guys, it just fits. I promise it will go in your box. There it goes. This one is a much snugger fit than my first one, but it'll absolutely work. And the more you work it on and off, the easier it'll get. All right, I have some in color enamel dots, and I'm just going to grab some of the Magenta Madness ones, just like this. We're just gonna put 3 on there. I'm just using my take your pick tool. There we go. So cute. So I hope you enjoyed this sweet little box that holds a Little Debbie cake roll. So cute. And we're featuring the Zany Zebra stamp set. Again, if you want to sign up for that Zany Zebra stamp a stack, make sure you head to my blog and check out all the details in that Zany Zebra stamp stack. Thank you guys so much for joining me today, and I'll see you again on Friday. Bye.